Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to West Prairie High School. It's time for Cyclones basketball here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. You're stuck listening to Dwayne Hewlett tonight because we're at 3 locations again. Greg, as you might have already seen, is already doing the IESA 7th grade regional game between BPC and West Prairie at the middle school in Colchester. Chris Frankhauser, Jason Hewlett, and Miles Hewlett are just about ready to do the junior high boys game in Bushnell. It is 8th grade night. It'll be at halftime of the 7th grade game, at least that's how I was told the other day. That's going on in Bushnell against A-Town, and we're here with the Havana Ducks, and I have the varsity coach, Coach Duncan, already up here hanging out with me. First time I've done one of your games in your gym this year, but Greg and Ethan, and mostly Ethan, has been here for you guys since we took over a few weeks ago, and he's done a pretty good job, I think.
Yes, sir, he has. Greg and Ethan have done a wonderful job with their broadcast of our home games here at West Prairie, and we look forward to having you on the mic tonight and see how the Cyclones play.
Well, you can tell me at the end of the night if you look forward to it again. Hopefully I'm not a jinx or whatever, but this Havana team that your guys are going to face tonight on the varsity level is a pretty good ball club.
Yeah, they are. They're a lot like us. Have some scores, a couple scores that we have to really work on shutting down tonight, and hopefully we play as good as defense as we did the other night against Rushville. And if we can accomplish that goal, and we shoot the ball really well in our home gym, it's another opportunity for us to get another W.
How much is football messing with everything? I mean, I know the kids are trying to, but this is something that nobody's ever dealt with. I mean, football in the spring is odd anyway, obviously, but even when it's football in the fall, it doesn't overlap this much unless you go into the postseason quite a ways. How different is this, do you think, for the kids?
I think it's really been an adjustment period for the kids. They go from football practice early in the morning to basketball practice at night, or they're leaving basketball practice and they're going to put the shoulder pads and helmets on and going there. Coach Rodis and I are working really hard to make sure all our kids get the proper practices in so they can be ready to face the Bombers on their opening night of football. So, in this pandemic year, I'm just glad to see the kids be able to get out there and do some activities and have somewhat of a normal school year.
Yeah, even though the timing is abnormal, the fact that they get to play at least gives it a little bit of a normal feel, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It really does. It's weird playing basketball this late in March when it's 70 degrees outside. Usually if we're playing this weekend, we're either in the super sectional or state tournament. And
that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be. That March Madness has that nice ring to it, and it's regular season March Madness now.
Yeah, March Madness is a different type of madness. You guys might have the last game in the state on Saturday against Southeastern. I don't know if anybody else is playing that late.
I'm not sure they are either. I was hoping for lots of games, and Caleb said he had an opportunity to play one more on the 13th, and was able to schedule Southeastern, and so they're here in the last home game, and probably, like you said, one of the last games of this basketball season in the state of Illinois.
So how cool is it to – I know you're BWP still right now with football, but so you're practicing with BPC for BWP football, your kids are.
Mm-hmm.
Your last basketball game is going to be the team that you co-op with next year for 8-man football. So that's like it's a weird irony a little bit.
Yeah, it is kind of odd. I didn't think about that, but now that you mention it, with West Prairie going to 8-man next year and co-oping with Southeastern, those will be some of probably the same kids they're going to see on the football season turn around in 6 months when they open up in August.
Yeah, the turnarounds are going to be so odd for everybody, I think. But we're just about ready to go with JV basketball here. What do you expect out of these JV kids? I know that this was probably really key for you to get these kids at least a little bit of playing time in your program, isn't it?
Yeah, these JV kids have worked hard. We start all sophomores and one freshman, and they are getting better and learning what we want them to do, and have worked really hard and have improved as the year goes on, and hopefully it's a chance to get a win.
The best thing, we're going to have a travel. Best thing about being on TV is I don't have to stop and tell everybody all the time exactly if everything's going on because they can see it on TV. So we can keep talking a little bit, and that's one of the hardest things for me, having done basketball for all those years, to realize that I don't have to say every pass like they had.
Right. Yeah. These kids, They work hard. They work hard in practice, and they're learning, and we continue to improve every night. And two of those kids have dressed and played up a little bit, Denver Mitchell and Jensen Laughlin, and, we expect them to be big helpers next year.
Well, you don't want to see a game start with 3 straight turnovers, 2 by Havana and 1 by you, but I guess that's better than being the other way around, right?
Yeah, I'd rather see 2 turnovers from Havana than 2 from us, and hopefully we can capitalize on these and knock down a shot here to start out with.
Well, I probably ought to let you go, huh? You probably want to be able to help coach a little bit here on the bench, but we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you after the varsity game. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Coach Duncan talking to us here in the pregame / start of the game show, and that was number 1, Ashton Barkley with the point for the Cyclones. And then it's number 10 the other way. That is Jaron Boggs for 2. I'm using a different scorebook tonight, so I have to find where everything's at. 2-2 is the score. Shots off, no good. Rebound's going to be Boggs again. He'll go back the other way for the Ducks. Ooh, that looked pretty clean, but we'll get the foul anyway. Foul's good. It looks like it's going to be on number 22. That's Mason Moore, his first, team's first. At the free throw line, shooting 2 for the Ducks is number 33. That's Hunter Nichols. First team foul for the Cyclones. First free throw is off for Nichols. John's sitting up beside me here. He's doing his first game on the camera. Here, why don't I give you the headset, John? That's a good time for you to talk. And we got a free throw lane violation, or line violation technically, on Nichols, so that was off anyway, so it really didn't matter a whole lot. But, John, I talked to you this morning. You said you wanted to help. I just put you right to work. Thanks for coming tonight.
Yeah, not a problem.
So we got the JV squad on the floor here for the Cyclones. 3 on the way. That is Denver Mitchell. It's off, no good. Rebound to the Ducks. Going back the other way is Porter. Porter skips it. I'm not really sure who that was skipped to. It's going to be saved by Hughes nonetheless, and it'll be Boggs with it out top. It's going to be back to Hughes. Hughes is going to drive. His runner is up, off, no good. Rebound knocked around. Taken down finally by Barkley. And it'll go back the other way for the Cyclones. Into the corner it goes for Moore. Shots up, and a foul is going to be called. Denver Mitchell was down there amongst the trees. He's going to pick up the foul. The foul is going to be on number 4. That's Jackson Porter, his first, team's second. Or team's first, excuse me. 2 free throws for Ashton Barkley. No, it's not Ashton Barkley. It's Denver Mitchell at the free throw line. Makes the first one. Saw 1-1 and not 2. So the Cyclones take a 3-2 lead here. A couple of subs checking in for the Ducks. Number 23 is Thurston Sisson. Second free throw is good for Mitchell as well. 4-2 is the score. Also checking in was number 15, who I don't have on my roster, or 45, excuse me, Alec McGrew. That shot was partially blocked. Porter on the shot was blocked, I believe, partially by Moore. Now Moore's going to have it on the baseline. He's going to go into the lane, tipped around, tipped away. Onto the floor goes a Duck. It's going to be out to Boggs. Now it's going to go down the floor to Sisson, and his shot's up and in. 4-4 is the score. 4:10 to go here in the first quarter. Mitchell with it. Going to give it to Barkley. Far side it goes to Powell. Carter Powell with it over there. It's going to be Mitchell again with it. Back up top to Moore. Moore looks down low to Powell. His one-hander's off, no good. Moore gets the rebound. It's stripped away by Boggs. He's stopped by Barkley, and they slow things up. Far side it goes over to Porter. He gets the layup to go as he pump faked and drove and gets the first lead of the game for the Ducks. 6-4 is the score. Mitchell drives. His shot rattles around and falls through. Give him 4 points and knots it one more time at 6. There's McGrew with it. Goes over to Porter. His three is off, no good. Mitchell had a hand on the rebound, couldn't pull it down. Boggs comes up with it. That looked pretty close to a carry there. 3 minutes left here in quarter number one. A timeout is on the floor, charged to the Ducks. It's a full timeout. And that will turn into the COVID/mask timeout, so we'll take a break as well. You're watching Cyclones and Ducks basketball here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helped me reach peak performance
in the weight room.
Prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life.
Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True convection cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True Convection Cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School JV action. 3 minutes remain here in quarter number one. They're playing 7 minutes. The first timeout was taken by Havana. He took a full, but I'm guessing they might have changed it to a 30 because it becomes the mask/COVID timeout, as they take one of those in every quarter. Thank you, sir. Mr. Cox coming up and giving us a bottle of water. Much appreciated. Inbounded after the timeout for Havana. Under 3 minutes to go now. Sisson still in the game. Porter with it. A little push off there as he was trying to get some space between him and Laughlin. Now inside it goes to number 33, Hunter Nichols. And he gives his team a 2-point lead again. 8-6 is the score. Cole Cordell in ball game. Nice look inside to Barkley from Powell. And Barkley gets another bucket, and we knot it back at 8 again. Guess I should have been keeping track of how many times we tied here. We've been tied at 2, 4, 6, and 8.
Yeah, so far it's been a pretty competitive game.
Oh, nice play by Powell, knocking it away, and then it's kicked around, and it's on the baseline. Or no, it's not on the baseline. Apparently down there diving for it and fighting for it was Laughlin, Jensen Laughlin, and he gets called for being on the sideline rather than the baseline. I thought the ball was on the baseline for a minute, but they didn't call that. They did call the sideline, and since it was the sideline official called it out, it has to be inbounded from the sideline, clear down in the corner. That's like the worst place on the planet to try to inbound a basketball. 8-8's the score. 2 minutes remaining here in quarter number one. Boggs with it on the far side for Havana. Down low he looks to, that's Dylan Harris. And we're going to go back the other way, a travel. And checking in for the Cyclones, number 33, Adam Vale. He'll replace Carter Powell. Powell take a seat. Great pass there, John, from Powell to Barkley on the last basket for the Cyclones.
Oh, yes, it was really just a great pass. Way to keep his head up. Made the correct play there.
So it's going to be Mitchell with it now. He'll go right side to Cordell. Cordell's shot's off, no good. Rebound bounced around, picked up by Barkley. His one-hander's in and out from inside the lane, and then I believe that Vale's going to pick up a foul. He is. The foul's going to be on Adam Vale, his first, team second. So 1:33 to go here in the first quarter. We're knotted at 8 apiece, the Cyclones and the Ducks. And battling down low on the post is Mitchell, and he's going to get called for a foul down there with Hunter Nichols. They were battling. It's going to be the first on Denver Mitchell, third on the Cyclones. Here in the first quarter at the free throw line is Hunter Nichols. He was 0 for 2 earlier. He's 0 for 3 now.
And if the Cyclones are going to want to keep this game close like it is right now, we're going to have to stop fouling. Giving the other team too many free looks at the line.
You're exactly right. Of course, I guess You can keep fouling Nichols till he makes one, I guess, right?
That's very true. Yeah.
1:15 to go. A 3 on the way by Mitchell's off no good. It's battled around and picked up by Boggs finally. Boggs is one of the shortest kids on the court, and every time he's the one down on the post figuring out how to get a rebound.
Just seems like he's always in the right spot.
There's a 2 by Eli Hughes, and that gives his squad another lead, 10-8. Mitchell, 52 seconds left. Denver Mitchell's going to drive. Oh, a nice pass down low, and he's going to be to Vale, and he's fouled. Boggs didn't want to give up the easy basket. That's going to be the first on Boggs, second on the Ducks.
And another nice pass from the Cyclones team.
Will be inbounded here by Laughlin. Looking for Mitchell and just couldn't get a hand on it. Out of bounds. Must have been touched, so he couldn't get a control of it. 45 seconds left. First time I think either team's had the lead and the basketball here. Nichols with it again. He's going to drive. Oh, and he had Hughes wide open across the lane. Couldn't get it there. Now it's going to be Boggs. He's going to drive. He's going to try to dump it out to Porter. No, back to Hughes, excuse me. Boggs to Hughes, but there to take it away was Laughlin for the Cyclones. 20 seconds remaining, and it looks like the Cyclones here, John, are going to look for one shot.
I don't see why they wouldn't. With this little amount of time left here, no reason to give the team a good look at the basket.
Mitchell wanted a 3, didn't take it. Now it's going to be Cordell with it. Now to a 3 on the way by Laughlin is off no good. Sisson from three-quarter court went about 6 feet above the basket, and that's how quarter number 1 will come to a close. We'll take a break as well. We'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH right after this.
During this COVID pandemic, it is important you take care of your health, especially your heart health. Do not ignore the signs of a heart attack or stroke. If you have health concerns, schedule an appointment with your provider, and always, in case of an emergency, call 911. This message brought to you by McDonough District Hospital and Blessing Health System. See for yourself why Blessing Health System is the leader in cardiology and pulmonology services. Appointments available inside MDH. Learn more at blessinghealth.org or mdh.org.
Well, we were camping, and then I got a phone call from my neighbor and said that we got hit by a storm. He said, "You better come home because there's no roof." He said, "I look up and see the sky." They didn't know what you were going to do, where you're going to go, but Country Financial took care of us.
We anticipate something that we hope never happens, but when it happens, we are there to make good on our promise.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School. Let's get ready for quarter number 2. Cyclones will start with the basketball, trailing by 2, 10-8. Out to Vale. Now it's going to go over to Powell, who's back in the game. Now back up to Mitchell. Denver Mitchell is going to be fouled. That's going to be a foul by Jackson Porter, his second. Team's third for the Ducks. Checking back in is going to be Boggs for the Ducks. Nice inbounds play, a layup off, no good by Laughlin to go back the other way for the Ducks. Ooh, Nichols carrying that ball just a smidge.
Great steal there from Jensen Laughlin. Was able to read the offensive player's eyes there and pick off the pass.
Way to pick me up there. There's Laughlin with a 2. Thank you, John, as I'm trying to get a couple things figured out here. Knotted back at 10 apiece. Excuse me. $5:54 to go here in the first half. 10 apiece. It's 10-8 at the end of the first quarter, so we're a little over a minute in. One basket so far here in the quarter. Boggs with it. Comes up top to Nichols. Right side to Sisson. Sisson picks up his dribble, skips it across to number 22. That's Gother. Gaither. His shot's off, no good. Rebound to Laughlin and goes back the other way. 5:20 remaining. Now to Powell. He looked down to cutting Laughlin. Now Mitchell's going to try the three. It's off, no good. Laughlin with the rebound and the putback. It's off, no good again. Vale with the rebound and the putback. It's off, no good. Powell with the rebound and the putback. It's off, no good again. Powell gets it back and finally gets it to fall. Carter Powell with the bucket, and the Cyclones are up by 2, 12-10. And Vale was the one that got that second tip to Powell to give him a second attempt down at the post. Nichols to Boggs. Boggs drives the baseline. He's going to be fouled by Cordell. I do believe it is on Cole Cordell. His first, team's fourth. At the free throw line shooting 2 for the Ducks is number 10, Jaron Boggs. Makes the first one. That's the first free throw they've made. It's the 5th one they've shot. Closes the Ducks back to within 1, 12-11. Checking in for the Cyclones, number 43, Clayton Hunt. Also back in is Mason Moore. That one's off, no good, tipped around. We've picked up by Cordell, and he'll outlet it to Mitchell, go back the other way with 4:43 to go. Hunt has it. Has it knocked away, but gets it back. Gets it out to Denver Mitchell. 4:30 remaining. 12-11 is the score. Cyclones lead the Ducks. Now Hunt's going to drive, dumps it out to Moore. Up top it comes to Cordell. Oh, and a cut, and it looked a little bit late on the pass.
Yeah, it was really a beautiful cut there by Denver Mitchell. The pass just came a bit late.
Woo! That was a travel, but it might have been because of the shoulder he got laid into him. But they're going to call the travel, and checking in for the Cyclones going to be number 4, Xavier Hilton. He'll replace Cordell. 4:12 remaining. Now McGrew checking back in for the Ducks. Laughlin's going to bring it up the floor for West Prairie. Mitchell going to give it to Hilton. Hilton's jumper from about 10 feet, in and out and no good. Rebound to Hughes, and it'll go back the other way. 3:50 remaining, and nobody's going to pick up the ball, and Hughes just had no interest, John, in shooting a three. He was wide open.
Was almost scared there for how wide open he was.
And then he's going to be fouled, I believe, by Hunt. We'll see who they call it on, but I think it'll be on Hunt. Nope, they're going to call it on Mitchell. That'll be his second, team's 5th. It is the mask/COVID timeout. With that, we'll tell you we want to thank McDonough District Hospital. McDonough District Hospital athletic trainers and the MDH Rehabilitation Center with locations in Bushnell and Macomb provide expert help to Cyclone students, athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring. And the Community News Brief. The Community News Brief is a free publication distributed to over 68 locations in Bushnell, Macomb, Colchester, Industry, Adair, and even more towns throughout the area. It provides local news to McDonough County and parts of Fulton County every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. To submit a press release or to get advertising information for the locally owned publication, contact Lynn at 309-333-8245. You can also email them at communitybrief@gmail.com. And actually, one of the MDH athletic trainers sitting right down here talking to Coach Duncan as we speak. So we want to thank everybody for joining us here. And 3:41 to go here in quarter number 2. Cyclones lead 12-11. It's been I don't think any team's led by more than 2, have they?
I don't think they have. It's been a very close game so far. Both teams back and forth for most of the game.
We'll see if it continues that way. As again, we're in the second quarter, 3:41 to go. At the free throw line shooting 2 is Eli Hughes. That kid had as open of a three-pointer at the top of the key as I've ever seen, and he passed it up, but he ties the score here from the free throw line.
Like I said, it almost seemed like he was surprised on how wide open he was there.
Yeah, there had to be something wrong if they're leaving me that wide open, right? Or he just fancies himself a driver and not a not a distance shooter, but at any rate, he makes the first free throw, and he makes the second, gives his team a 1-point lead. Apparently, he's a junior, according to the Havana Ducks crowd, players beside us. 3:35 remaining.
And one thing Havana's coach was preaching during this last time out here was to tell his players to stop reaching in at the ball. So far, his team has been fouling a lot. Let's see if his players can abide by that.
Down low it goes, and boy, there's a big hack, and it's blocked, and no foul call. That was Mason Moore trying to get a shot off, and he got hammered. Now we're going to call another foul on the Cyclones. They're going to call it on the floor, though. It's going to be on Xavier Hilton, his first, team's 6th. They'll be in a bonus the rest of the way. Hughes goes far side to number 22, Gaither. Now to Hughes. Hughes is going to drive. He's got an open lane, and he's going to be fouled again.
We'll have to see who they called that one on, because to me it looked like Clayton Hunt got a pretty clean block there. Yep, that one's going to go on. Mason Moore got him with the body.
Yep, Mason's second, team 7th at the free throw line, shooting 2 more is going to be Eli Hughes. That one's off, no good. Carter Powell checking back in for the Cyclones. Mason Moore is going to take a seat. Hughes, the second free throw coming with 2:48 to go here in the first half. Rattles the second one home. Gives his team a 2-point advantage, 14-12. Powell with it, looking for where to go. Oh, nice cut to Barkley. Now dumps it down to Hilton. Hilton on the dribble. Look to Powell, but nice cut by Laughlin, and its floater is good. Give him 4 for the quarter, and guess what we're at? We're knotted again, this time at 14. The Ducks with it still. Up top it goes to Smith. He's blocked.
Great straight up defense there from Mason Moore.
Gaither's going to come up with it. Now Hughes like, I'm not going to pass that up twice, and he banks it home.
Decides to take that one after being wide open the first time and rattles it home.
I didn't know the bank was open this late, but apparently it is with 1:35 to go in the second quarter. We're at 6:23 at night. I guess it's 4 o'clock somewhere, right?
I guess so, huh?
Hunt to the bounce pass, or a ricochet pass, goes to Laughlin. He's going to do the harm. And the foul was on number 5, Eli Hughes, his first, team's 3rd. Make it 4th. I didn't mark one down. I apologize. It's 16-17, and now a chance to tie it, and he won't do it. So without another free throw, we might actually be offset and do some well, that's not a good pass.
No, it is not. It looked like he tried to
my goodness. Nichols just comes down and steals it right away from Cordell.
Just take it right out of his hands.
Cordell's going to retaliate with a foul. That'll be his second, team's 8th. And shooting 2 for the Ducks will be Hunter Nichols. He's 0 for 4 in the contest. Not anymore. He's 1 for 5.
So maybe the Cyclones will decide to stop fouling him now that they know that he can indeed make a free throw.
And he makes them both.
And that'll be a backcourt violation on the Cyclones. Bit of an errant pass there from Xavier Hilton, and Jensen Laughlin couldn't reel it in.
Nice drive by Boggs, and he'll get the bucket to fall. (21-16), largest lead of the game for either team. Powell had a look at the basket, spun the wrong way, but he's going to pick up the foul. I think it might be on 21. We'll wait and see what the number is. It is on number 21, Luke Smith, his first, team's fifth. Powell be at the free throw line shooting 2. 32.2 seconds remaining here in the first half. First one's good for Powell.
And really, these are some big free throws here so that the Cyclones can carry the momentum into the second half as he misses the second one.
Braden DeCounters into the ball game as well. 21-17 is the score. Smith's going to drive. He gets around DeCounter and gets a layup for Luke Smith. Make it 23-17. 10 seconds, 9, 8. Hilton with it. He's going to drive. Oh, looks for Barkley. Nice pass. Barkley's jumper's good. Buzzer beater is not going to be good. And Barkley gets 2 to bring it to within 4 at 23-19 here at the half. One of the things I was able to do recently, as I was able to catch up with Coach Rodis, the head coach for the BWP Sparklones football team. Of course, we've had a lot of talk about what's been going on with the Sparklones as we've started football practice already and all the other stuff that's going on. So what we're going to do is I have 2 interviews. We'll play the first part of the interview here at halftime of this game. The second part of the interview will be played at the varsity game. Played this interview a couple nights ago in Bushnell, but at a Bushnell Prairie City game. But wanted you folks to hear it here in West Prairie as well. So we'll take a break. This is Coach Ronis talking to us here a week or two ago to TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. Welcome back to TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. As we're beforehand, girls are practicing right now. The BWP Sparklones football coach, Dave Rodis, joining us here, and we're going to talk a little football, which it's spring.
Right, yes.
You should, in racing, when we talk sport, you talk about racing in the wintertime, it's bench racing. This should be like bench football right now, but instead we're full-on prep almost, aren't you?
Yeah, no, we are making all kinds of plans and trying to be ready for practice next Wednesday, which is just crazy to me. But, missing the fall, I'm sure ready for it, and I know our guys are too.
Now, how many times have you watched football in spring that wasn't, 8-man or something like that? Have you ever watched it?
We've went down to some college spring type game stuff, but nothing like what we're going to be seeing here.
Now, you scraped the snow off the practice field the other day, and then it turned around and rained.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping in the theory of that, we're hoping that getting that snow off there's less moisture that went into the ground that's going to be soupy. That's our hope, right?
That's not something you generally have to worry about in August, is it?
No. Well, that was planned ahead, and who knows? We're talking weather this weekend that could bring some snow or rain. I don't know what's going to happen, but, we're going to deal with whatever cards we get as far as weather goes. We can't control that.
Now, you're not the only one that scraped the football field off. Kelly Sears was here the other night talking about somebody had a snow blower out blowing the field off, practice field off. I saw numerous pictures actually on Facebook where teams had scraped off the field and stuff. I mean, you guys are all in uncharted territory, obviously, but you're probably thinking ahead, well, this could happen or this could happen, so let's try and get a head start on it.
Exactly, yeah. We're thinking right now the snow's about off our game field. I'm actually thinking that we may want to try to paint that as soon as possible, because if we get a little bit of snow on it, I don't know if I'm ever going to get back on it to line it, without having the strings and all that stuff. So trying to think ahead as much as we can, because like you said, we don't know what's going to happen.
Right. So what's been the biggest challenge for you getting ready for this season? I mean, you've had to try. I'm sure some of these kids don't play any other sports, so trying to keep them interested or something throughout this winter and not get completely out of shape or whatever.
Yeah. No, we haven't been able to control that at all. I mean, we've been out of school. We haven't been able to do any weightlifting here and there. It's more prep on trying to stay on top of, what our schools want us to do, as far as, should we have seating charts on buses? Should we be able to, use water out on the field? What are we doing? Just trying to stay on top of all of that, and then trying to come up with a schedule where I can make sure my basketball players for 2 different schools will be able to get 7 practices before our game 1 so they can play.
And you start practice when?
Next Wednesday.
So that's the 3rd?
Yes.
So you start practice 3rd, and your first game is the 19th, right?
19th, yes.
And basketball goes till the 13th.
Right. Basketball is going to be running, and they've got, West Prairie's got 3 or 4 games a week in there, and I know that we've got 2 or 3, and, I can't expect guys to have a game and come to practice. That's not the case. I'm just trying to grab them after a basketball practice to have football practice.
Right.
So
just so you can at least say they were there and did something for a practice,
yes,
right?
Yes. I mean, if nothing else, they're going to know. They're going to know what's going on from watching and know the plays, and it'll be safer on that aspect. Because if they don't know what's going on, they're going to get hurt just standing around, and they'll be able to get all the safety aspects of keeping their heads up and how to tackle right, all that stuff we cover in the first few weeks.
So let's talk about the elephant that's probably in the room. BWP isn't going to be any more after this year. So this is just, you go from being a full 2-school football team in March and playing 6 games to having a very short period and being a 1-school football team that may or may not be doing something different next year. You're the head coach of this team. What's that? And I'm expecting you'll be the head coach of the team next fall. So what does that, does any of that linger in the back of your head right now, or are you just trying to push that off?
Right now, I am focused on this spring season and making sure it's in the back of my head, because I want to make sure we go out on a high note. We go out with, respect as a group, and we do things right for our senior boys that have been working at both schools together. We want to do things right, and we're going to be playing each other game 1 next year. So I think it's good to make sure we leave on a good note and have good sportsmanship right now, so that they can see that we're going to have that next year when we play each other.
So
as we work together to stop the spread of COVID-19, McDonough District Hospital wants you to know that your health and safety are our #1 priority.
Our primary care providers are here to take care of you and your family's total well-being. Telehealth capabilities and the MDH Convenience Clinic all provide ease of access to our wide range of services.
All of this because we are committed to providing you quality and compassionate care that you have come to trust from us.
McDonough District Hospital, more than hospital care, a hospital caring.
You see fires on TV all the time. You don't understand what the families are really going through until you've lived it. The day before the fire, life was good. We went to bed, we woke up, and we had nothing. If it was not for Country Financial, we would still have nothing.
welcome back to West Prairie High School. You're watching TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Look at the scoring here in the first half. We'll look at that, and then we'll see what John has to say about it after we get done. Pretty even scoring as far as the two teams go until the very last part of the second quarter. Leading scorer for the game, a game-high 8 points in the first half, was Eli Hughes. He had a 3, a 2, and 3 free throws to make 8 points. Jackson Porter had 2 points, 5 points for Jaron Boggs, 2 points for Luke Smith at the very end of the quarter. Thurston Sisson had 2 points. Hunter Nichols had 4 points. He's 2 of 6 from the free throw line. The Ducks just 6 of 12 from the charity stripe, scoring 10 and 13 points respectively in each quarter. For the West Prairie Cyclones, 2 players with team-high 6 points apiece. Ashton Barkley has 6 points. Jensen Laughlin has 6 points, and his were all in the second quarter. 4 points for Denver Mitchell, who kind of kept the Cyclones in the game early. And then Carter Powell had 3 points in the second quarter. The Cyclones finished with 19 points in the first half and are 3 of 5 from the charity stripe. The glaring difference there, if you talk to coaches or you talk to people who watch basketball, John, you hear them say a lot, if you can make more free throws than your opponent shoots, you're going to win basketball games. And right now, the Ducks are doing exactly that. They've made 6, and the Cyclones have shot 5.
Free throws are really just a great way to get points on the board. And the best thing about free throws is that no time runs off the clock while you're shooting them. It's a great way to get back into games and to extend your lead. So we've seen the Ducks here take advantage of that.
Yeah, we were kind of giving Nichols a little bit of a hard time because he was struggling early when the Cyclones were kind of starting to foul a little more than you'd like to see. But
when you go to the line as many times as he did, you're bound to put some points on the board. So.
Yeah, he made his last 2, and he's 2 of 6. So makes 2 more. He's going to be 6 of 8. And he'll be right up in a good shooting percentage. So it doesn't take long to switch that around. It's going to be third quarter action coming your way here at West Prairie High School. JV basketball here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I want to thank Tri-County Seeds. Tri-County Seeds, your local Golden Harvest seed advisor, located in Scioto, Illinois. Rooted in genetics, agronomy, and service for over 10 years, contact Nate Todd at 309-333-3437 for all of your Golden Harvest corn, soybean, and seed treatment needs. Down low it goes, and the first bucket is off no good, but then it's going to be Nichols knocking it away from Barkley. Boggs comes up with it. He's going to throw it right to Laughlin. Laughlin goes back the other way. A little hesitation, and then the bucket for Jensen Laughlin. And that's going to bring the Cyclones to within 2 at 23-21. Hughes with it for the Ducks. He goes right side to Boggs. Driving, and the miss was by Porter, whose name we called a lot early, John, and didn't really call his name much in the second quarter.
No, we did not. But then we did call a lot in the second quarter was Jensen Laughlin. As you see him there with the shot. A little bit off.
It was in and out. He's been all over the place. He's had a couple good passes, some good cuts to the basket.
And one thing that I really like that he's been doing is he's been a pest off the ball. Something that doesn't really show up in the box score exactly, but if you watch this guy when he's playing defense on the guys who don't have the ball, he's just always up in their face, trying to affect passes, doing the little things.
Shot blocked by Boggs as Mitchell went to the rack. 23-21, 5:50 to go in the third quarter. The Ducks lead the Cyclones here. A little conversation by the official there. I wonder what that was about. But into Laughlin it goes. He gets a good look at the basket, and he gets another 2 points. And we're knotted at 23. And Laughlin's going to pick up the foul. That'll be his first, team's first of the second half. Porter with it. Looked to Nichols, couldn't get it there. He's going to drive, and boy, he had it way up in the air, but he kept his hand on top of the ball. Laughlin's going to drive. He's got Boggs coming from behind, and Boggs is going to reach in and looking for ball, but found nothing but arm. That'll be the second on Boggs, first on the Ducks of the second half.
It seems like Jensen Laughlin here, he's just been in the right spot at the right time for a lot of these possessions, picking up a lot of steals, getting to the rim in transition, and we'll see the free throws good there from him.
And they take the first lead to West Prairie that they've had since inside 10 points. And the second one rattles around and falls through as well. A little shooter's touch on that one. It's a 2-point lead for the Cyclones, 25-23 on a 6-0 run to open the third quarter here. They trail 23-19. And now another steal. This time it's Barkley, and he's going to take it back the other way. Boggs is going to beat him down the floor. He's going to put it up. And there's a – are you going to – how can you not call that hold? Did you see that?
Yeah, that was really –
his shirt is untucked. He had a complete grab of that shirt. And Barkley says, you can do that at the other end. I want to come down here, and you're not going to get an easy bucket. And I do not blame him at all.
Foul
on Barkley.
Which it probably was, but just a little redemption there, I'm sure.
Yeah, he wasn't going to let him score, but that was so blatant. That grab of the jersey down there was so obvious, and he held on to it for an extended period of time. It wasn't like it was a quick jerk and let go of it.
That's what it seems like, but
both free throws off, no good. That was Hughes shooting the free throws that time, right?
I do believe so.
That's going to be on Nichols, his first, team second.
The West Prairie Cyclones here with a 2-point lead.
What are we doing? Trying to decide who goes in and out. The buzzer buzzed. They buzzed it in. They threw it in. They threw it back out. Got it all figured out now.
Looks like we're finally going to get some game going.
Oh, what a pass and what a layup.
Wow.
A great look from Mitchell. Was that Mitchell? It was. Mitchell down to Laughlin.
Denver Mitchell's had a couple nice passes here early.
It's 27-23, an 8-0 run. And Laughlin is going to get called for the foul. He tried to stop. He knew he was coming. That's the third on the Cyclones, second on Laughlin.
And that's one of the things that I was talking about with him. Being that pest off ball, they just got a little over anxious and picked up the foul.
Down the baseline, it's Boggs. He goes out to Sisson. Shots off, no good. And I'm going to call a foul on number 21, Luke Smith. His second. And a technical is going to be called on 21. That'll be 2 fouls on him, 3 and 4 on the Cyclones on the personal fouls.
So I'm not sure exactly what was said there, but
he walked by the official, thought he was going out.
Heard one of the other players say that he was in, and that's where it stopped. But
real sure what the official didn't like it. I think he muttered something as he walked by. But a technical with 4:32 to go. Free throw by Laughlin's off, no good. He'll have another one coming here.
I think that technical there will extend the streaks of technicals at West Prairie basketball games to 4 in a row now.
That's
just a little fun fact there for all of the people watching. Not exactly a streak that you're proud of, but
well, at least it wasn't on West Prairie this time.
That's very true, yes.
So 2 fouls there on Smith. And if he did anything to earn that technical, I'll give him credit. He didn't showboat. He just he might have muttered something. A 3 on the way by Mitchell. Denver Mitchell gets his first bucket since the first quarter. And it's a big lead now for the Cyclones. They lead 30-23, largest lead of the game for the Cyclones, and they're on a 12 or an 11-0 run to open the quarter. And Nichols is going to bring that to a close as he gets his first bucket of the second half. 30-25 is the score. Laughlin's going to drive again, and his layup off, no good. Mason with the rebound. Mason Moore with the rebound, excuse me. He's finally going to come back up with it. Now on the floor. They call a timeout.
Looks like the ball had some butter on it.
30-second timeout.
No one able to pick it up.
And that'll be the full timeout, but it'll still be a charge timeout to the Ducks. It is a 30-second timeout, but it extended to a full timeout. We'll take a break, and we'll be back here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
McDonough District Hospital's Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center was built for one goal: to strengthen women's health services in the region's premier facility. Our dedicated staff, past and present, delivered generations of MDH babies, and now in the new Women's Center, our staff is ready to deliver the next generation and beyond. Come visit the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center and see for yourself the MDH difference.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School. I was just telling John, you see all those timeouts down there at the bottom of the screen, the yellow ones? I guess there's 7 of them on there. I just set this program up today. I forgot that I had to change how many timeouts there were. So I apologize. There's only 5. Don't worry. We didn't add a couple. I guess technically we did add a couple because we get the COVID/mask timeout in every quarter, which is supposed to be 90 seconds. So 3:42 remaining here in the third quarter, 30-25. The Cyclones are on an 11-2 run to open the second half. Havana basketball.
And a lot of this run here has come down to the Cyclones just playing really good defense, getting a lot of steals, playing the passing lanes very well, and able to convert on the other end.
And a travel is going to be called on Nichols. I'm kind of giggling to myself because Mason Moore has barely tucked his jersey back in since it got pulled out. It's Mitchell with it on a baseball pass from Laughlin. His runner's up off, no good. Nichols with the rebound. Going back the other way now. That's about the first bad possession for West Prairie as a line change is coming for the Ducks. They are just, coach, not happy with how things are going for Havana right now. Porter backs Laughlin in, and he gets the bucket to fall. The first bucket for Porter since the first quarter as well. Closes it to 3. 30-27.
Wild pass there from Denver Mitchell.
Now Boggs with the layup, counted and a foul, and a chance to tie it. Foul's going to be on Laughlin.
And here comes the platoon swap here for the Havana Ducks.
Yep, we like to call that a line change.
A line change.
Well, they can't put 5. They had 5 players up there to check in, but somebody must have went back because not sure who didn't come on back. But Boggs made the bucket. Chance for an old-fashioned three-point play here. It's off, no good. Barkley with the rebound. 1-point game now. In for the Ducks is still Boggs, but also in is McGrew. Number 34, Dylan Harris. Number 41. A 3 by Denver Mitchell is good.
So Denver Mitchell sort of hesitated there, but saw the defender wasn't going to get a hand up and decided to shoot it, and probably the right idea by him.
Caden Schramm is in. Oh, there was the other one. He was down in front of the bench, couldn't see him. He's going to take Boggs' spot. That's number 13, Delano Calcutta. If you're watching us, get on the live chat. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. We'd love to communicate with some of the fans watching from. If you're from Havana, let us know. If we say something wrong, a name wrong, let us know. That's Calcutta right there looking to shoot, but it's going to go out. Or not Cordell, I'm looking at the wrong team. That was Mitchell for 3. The number was right, the name was wrong. Sorry about that. Cordell now is going to drive. Gets the layup to fall. Maybe I should have said his name wrong earlier. It's his first bucket of the night. It's 35-29. And nobody to take it in. And Calcutta is going to have it bounce through his hands. It's going to go to Hughes, and Hughes will take it down for the Ducks. His jumper is off, no good. Rounds around, picked up by Mitchell, and he'll go back the other way. Denver Mitchell having himself a good second half so far with a pair of 3s. 1:30 remaining in the third quarter. Mitchell's going to drive. It's off, no good. Gets his own rebound, puts it back up and good.
Man, what a quarter from Denver Mitchell. Pair of 3s in that bucket there.
Back to an 8-point lead for the Cyclones. And now it's going to be Mason Moore with the steal, and his layup is up and in. Timeout by the Ducks with 1:06 to go, and you can see the line change come back in here now as Porter, Nichols, Boggs, and Sisson checking in, and Eli Hughes is going to stay in. Coach trying to make a statement there, John, and he made one. Allowed the game to get open to the biggest lead of the game, first time in double figures, 39-29.
He's obviously seeing something that he didn't like there with the lineup that he had out there. Decided to take everyone out, put some new players in.
usually when that happens, it's not so much he doesn't like something, he doesn't like attitude and or determination or whatever the case may be.
True as well.
He's not getting the effort out of his teams that his team wants, and that's kind of the conversation that's going on in the timeout right there, right now. I'm going to spin the camera over there since I'm standing up. As you guys look at Coach down there talking to his players, he is trying to get something across. I'm sure as a coach, John, it probably is hard to know how hard to push these kids. A lot of them are playing football. It's a short season. You don't get any postseason. There's so many things that say it doesn't matter, but yet you have to make it matter for these kids.
Right, and it's really a thin line that you walk between being overly into it and, acting like you don't care.
Yeah, you have to figure out where that line is and straddle it sometimes. And we'll see if the Ducks can respond here, trailing by 10, 39-29. The Cyclones a very good third quarter. And it's going to be Sisson with it. He gets it to Hughes, a back cut, and it's going to be Mason Moore knocking it out of bounds. It'll be back to the Ducks, but that was an open cut, but the problem was you had to get through 4 people with a basketball to get to the cutter.
They say the cut was there, but the pass was not.
Porter going to dump it down to Nichols. His shot's off, no good. Barkley with the rebound. One shot. Coaches say one shot here. 38 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Cordell with it. Up top it comes to Denver Mitchell. He's going to back it out. Boggs is going to try to close the distance, and then Barkley stops short of where Mitchell thought he was going to stop, and it goes out of bounds.
Yep, just a bit of a miscommunication there from the West Prairie Cyclones.
So 25 seconds remaining. Porter to Hughes, up top to Sisson. Sisson's going to go to Boggs. Boggs is going to drive back out to Sisson. Now he looks at 3, doesn't take. Whoa, must be a little water right there. That's the second or third player I've seen slip there.
Got to get someone in there to mop it up.
Nichols to Hughes, cutting to Porter, and Barkley's going to foul him. Give Barkley credit. He's earned every one of his fouls. Five fouls for the Cyclones here in the third quarter. First free throw for Porter is off, no good. Second one is good.
5 seconds left here. Denver Mitchell's going to take the ball up the court. Pump fakes, puts it up. Just a bit long there.
Off the back of the rim. Mitchell thought he was fouled. Looked at the official and shows his arm, a red arm there. So maybe he was fouled a smidge. But so I want to thank you for watching us here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We want to thank Bushnell Banking Center. Bushnell Banking Center, a branch of the Raritan State Bank located at 360 South Green Street in Bushnell, offers full-service banking and loan services for all of your banking needs. Come visit the Bank of Friendly Service or call them at 309-772-2345. Good luck, Cyclones. Bushnell Banking Center is an equal housing lender and member FDIC. And a McDonough Telephone Cooperative, this West Prairie game stream is made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. McDonough Telephone offers lightning-fast and reliable fiber internet, video, phone, and camera systems to the McDonough County area. Call 309-776-3211 to check your availability. And United Community Bank. United Community Bank's services are designed to keep you in the game when you're on the go. With online and mobile banking that's nothing but net, to friendly services you can count on from the leader of community banking. Choose UCB. Choosing UCB is always a slam dunk. Visit locations near you with branches in Bushnell, Colchester, and 2 in Macomb. UCB is a member FDIC. So fourth quarter action, 39-30. West Prairie will start with the basketball here as the final 7 minutes start to tick away. Mason Moore with it, and I think he just switched his pivot feet right there, but they didn't call it. Mitchell with it now. Denver Mitchell is going to dump it out to Moore again. Takes one dribble, gives it back to Denver Mitchell. Now to a cutting Barkley, and it shots off no good. Powell with the rebound and the putback, but just was a little closer, I think, to the rim than he thought he was. Put it right at the base of the rim, and it's going to be Havana with a chance to cut into the lead. They look down low to Boggs, and Boggs' bucket is up and in.
He's wide open underneath the basket there. It was really a great feed from the top.
Cuts it to a 7-point game, 39-32. There's a nice cut, Laughlin from Powell, and Laughlin gets the Cyclones on the scoreboard. Ball's bouncing around down there, and Nichols is going to smack Barkley and knock it away. Laughlin another 2, and I didn't add up his points, but he's got 12, 14, 16 now.
Really been great here tonight for him.
Mitchell to Moore. Mitchell's going to turn around, one-hander off, but Powell there for a rebound, and get again short on the rebound, or on the putback. 41-32, a 9-point lead. Hughes is going to come, and now it's going to be Boggs. He'll look at the 3 left wing. It's off no good. A rebound to Moore, but Sisson's going to knock it away out of bounds. Possession to the Cyclones. One thing I'd like to see the Cyclones do is be a little stronger on the glass. They get that hands on it, but they've had several balls just ripped right away. As we're going to have a timeout on the floor charged to West Prairie.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. It seems like the Cyclones just aren't being very strong with the ball.
41-32, 5:18 to go in the fourth quarter. The Cyclones, John, had an outstanding third quarter. They came out of what would be the locker room. I don't know that they actually went anywhere, but they came out in the second quarter, or in the second half, played really well. Havana's coaching staff not happy with how they were playing, pulled the starters, put the second string in for about 30 seconds, really opened the game up. What do you think West Prairie needs to do here to keep this lead? I mean, it's been close throughout.
Yeah, it's really been a great game so far. Pretty close, competitive, and up until that line switch that you were talking about. But really, West Prairie just needs to keep their foot on the gas pedal with this. Don't let up. Don't let Havana get a chance to come back into this game. Limiting free throws is a big part of that. Like I said, free throws, scoring while the clock isn't running. That's going to be the key for West Prairie here, is to limit free throws, I believe.
Yeah, at this point, with a lead going to the end of the game, you have to expect that Havana will have to start fouling at some point, and West Prairie will have to make those free throws when they do. So Mitchell with it with 5:10 remaining in the fourth quarter. Still a long ways from that. A lot of stuff can change between now and then. Laughlin was open. Got it late. It won't go, but he's going to shoot 2 free throws here. We'll see who the foul is going to be on. It's going to be on Boggs. That is the 3rd on Boggs. 5th on the Ducks. And Laughlin's going to shoot 2 more free throws. First one is good. Second one off the back of the rim, no good. Hughes with the rebound and nearly double dribbled, had it knocked away. 10-point lead again, 42-32. Barkley on Sisson. Sisson's going to dump it down to Porter. Porter across to Boggs. Boggs shot's blocked, gets his own rebound, gets it out to Hughes. Hughes is going to do a jump step, then pass it over to Porter. Boggs will look at a 3. Long rebound, picked up by Barkley.
Oh.
I thought they weren't going to call that for a second. Nichols gets up and looking like, what did I do? Well, if you don't think that's a foul, that's foul number 6. Laughlin's going to give it to Barkley, left side to Powell, down into Moore, up to Mitchell now. 4:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Oh, nice look into Moore. Mason Moore from Denver Mitchell. Moore gets his 4th point. Sorry, what was that, bud?
It was a great move there inside. Caught the ball, spun, laid it up and in. It's just an all-around really nice bucket there for Mason Moore.
Nice thing is he didn't hesitate. He knew where he was at. He knew what he needed to do. And there's Boggs going to try to answer with a 3. Sisson's going to get the rebound. Now, see, that's where Sisson should have taken that right up. Now it's going to go off of Havana out of bounds. 3:55 to go. This will be the COVID/media timeout. With that, we'll take a break as well. You're watching Cyclones basketball on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation does more than just tape ankles.
They get us back on the court.
My MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation
helps me reach peak performance.
In the weight room. Prepares me for competition.
My MDH physical therapists and the fitness programs MDH offers help me on my road to recovery and improve my quality of life.
Come see why MDH Sports Medicine and Rehabilitation was voted best of the best in McDonough County.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True convection cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True Convection Cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School. 44-32. Well, it's hard to believe that it was a 23-19 game at the half, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I thought we were going to be in for a very competitive third quarter, but West Prairie, and a big part of that is thanks to Denver Mitchell and Jensen Laughlin. They have had very good games here tonight, and they were able to pull away in that third quarter.
So 3:55 to go in the JV contest. Cyclones with the basketball in the lead, 44-32. Mitchell has it from Laughlin. And Mitchell's going to drive, and the layup is good. Who was that? Boggs came over to try to get a charge, but was a little late getting there. And instead of calling a blocking foul, they just let it go, and it's 46-32.
And I really think that was a great job there from Denver Mitchell to avoid the contact. I know a lot of times coaches will tell you to go into the players, try to draw fouls, but they decided they didn't need to, and it paid off for them.
I missed who that was. Was that Porter? I'm going to give it to Porter, number 4. 46-34. And a steal by Porter. Left-handed layup is good. This is where you can't get complacent. It's a 10-point lead again. That's not a huge lead with 2:51 to go, especially if they start making some shots and you start missing some free throws.
Like I said, Havana's got some good looks here to start the half. Just haven't been able to get them to go through, but in the off chance that those shots start falling, West Prairie could be looking at a more closer game than what we would think.
Mitchell was looking for Vale and overthrew him. And a turnover with 2:33 to go, and this thing is just about to be under a 3-possession game. 2.5 minutes left. Boggs with the basketball for the Ducks. And Powell's going to get ready to check back in. With the basketball is number 22, Gaither. Nichols, they're going to call a foul on the floor. It's going to be on Vale. It'll be his third. His team's 6th.
And one thing that the coach from the Havana Ducks has been preaching to his players throughout the game is to stop being complacent and taking early shots. But here with this little amount of time left and the score the way it is, you might look to start taking the first look you can get.
Yeah, you don't want to waste a whole lot of time here if you're the Ducks with 2:12 to go, down by 10. Can't take a bad shot, but you need to get shots. Gaither with it. Hughes. Porter's going to drive, and he's going to be hand-checked by Mason Moore. That'll be his third. It was Vale's second, my mistake. And we're going to be at the free throw line shooting a 1 and bonus here for the Ducks. That's Porter. First one is good. He'll get the bonus. This is exactly, as you've been saying the whole game, this is exactly what you don't want if you're the Cyclones, allowing the Ducks to score without the clock running.
And now that the Ducks are in the bonus, getting those free throw chances, bit of a blunder there from the West Prairie Cyclones, trying to figure out who wanted to inbound the ball, but that'll be a turnover nonetheless.
So it's down to 8 points, 46-38. Porter with it with 2 minutes remaining. Porter's going to drive, has it stripped away, but gets it back. Gets it in the corner of Boggs. Boggs will put up a 3. It's long, and it's going to go off of Denver Mitchell. Denver Mitchell went up to get a rebound, and it never hit the rim, and it just came in on him so quick that he couldn't react to it and went off his hands and then his leg out of bounds. 152. I'm going to call Mason Moore on another foul.
This is exactly what you don't want to see here if you're the West Prairie Cyclones.
That's his 4th. Team foul number 8. And that is Boggs shooting the one in bonus now. He misses it, but Porter with the rebound. And out of bounds, possession to the Cyclones and full court press. .46-38 is the score, isn't it?
Oh, I was looking at the quarter there. Looks like we got the wrong quarter put up.
Oh, yeah, I do. Sorry. And that was Vale, was it? Or no, Powell?
I
think we'll give it to Powell. Fouls on Laughlin, his 4th. Free throw line again is going to be Porter.
And so far, coming out of that last timeout, the Havana Ducks have spent a lot of time racking up these points at the line.
First one's off, no good. Barkley with the rebound. Still a 10-point lead with 90 seconds left. Now Denver Mitchell had to track it down, and then he's going to lose it on the baseline out of bounds. Possession back to Havana. Sisson's going to check back in for Havana. 1:24 to go, a 10-point game, and we might be in for a few minutes to finish this last 84 seconds.
Yeah, it's really been a sloppy last couple minutes from the West Prairie Cyclones. A lot of turnovers, a lot of fouls. Going to have to clean those up if we want to keep this game the way it is.
Hughes has it inside on a nice pass, and he'll cut it to an 8-point game.
Not sure
48-40, a timeout is going to be called. It's going to be a full timeout. Helping to bring you this contest here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, is M&B Furniture. Bushnell's only furniture store will be celebrating its 60th anniversary in June. M&B Furniture is a mainstay in the county and offers top-notch customer service, free delivery within 40 miles, and the best in-home appliance repair in the area. For everything you need to furnish your new home or replenish an old one, stop and see them at 481 West Main Street in Bushnell, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at www.mandbfurniturinc.com. You can also call 309-772-2111. And Heil Enterprises and Heil Trucking. Heil Enterprises and Heil Trucking can take your product down the road, near or far, and also offers top-notch heavy-duty truck repair and trailer repair. The second-generation business continues to grow and continues to support local athletics. Stop by and see Danny or Travis on Route 41 south of Prairie City, or call them at 309-775-3333. So the ball with 1:11 left. Inbounding here is West Prairie. Barkley has it. He gets it up to Denver Mitchell. 105, and Mitchell's going to take a 3. Probably not what you want, but I guess if it goes in, all's good that is good, right? A 3 for Mitchell.
And that was really a big basket there from the Cyclones to get the team back on track.
Now Barkley has the steal, then Boggs is going to take it away. He'll take it back the other way. He's going to go to the rack. His layup's good.
Nice Euro step there.
Full timeout charge to the Ducks. Looks like he's got 2, and West Prairie has 3. Looks like I'm just being told he's got 1, so take 2 off of that. So what we've got on the scoreboard. 51-42 is the score. And put that last 2 by the Ducks up with the timeout. Helping bring you this contest here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, is Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Bushnell. For over 100 years, Farmers and Merchant State Bank of Bushnell has been serving the local community's needs for personal and business banking, as well as home and agricultural lending. Stop by the main branch, 484 East Main Street in Bushnell, or the drive-up facility on Cole Street to learn more. F&M is a member FDIC and equal housing lender. And Square Music Company. Square Music Company offers instruments, gear, lessons, service, and more. Located at 122 Northside Square in Macomb. Call the Macomb store at 309-431-5484. You can also visit the Quincy location at 725 North Hampshire Street, or you can find them online at squaremusic.com. Another big inbound here for the Cyclones, and it's Laughlin. He's going to outlet it to Moore, and Moore's going to go for a layup, and he's going to be fouled. It won't fall, but he'll get 2 free throws. With 39.4 seconds left, Hughes is going to pick up the foul. Be his second. Mason Moore got slapped a little bit, having a little issue out there. They'll be in the bonus the rest of the way.
Ref's just making sure that he's okay to shoot these free throws here, and looks like he's going to go ahead and take them.
So Mason Moore, 2 free throws coming here. First one is good. (52-42).
Tried to bank
Second
that
one's
one
off, no good. Porter with the rebound. He's going to go the length of the floor, and he's going to be fouled by Denver Mitchell, I believe. There'll be 2 free throws either way. It's going to be on Mitchell. That'll be his third. 2 shots either way, but I believe it's a double bonus. I heard him say it was on the floor. So Porter shooting 2 more. First one's off, no good.
And that's really been a problem here for the Havana Ducks all night, is being able to make your free throws.
Yeah, they were 6 of 12 in the first half, and they're not even that good, I don't think, here in the second half. It makes the second one, though.
Missed a couple big ones here down the stretch and a few early.
Oh, nice play by Mitchell. As over there was Boggs to take it away from Laughlin, but Mitchell was able to knock it out of bounds and not give the easy basket to Hughes, who was cherry picking. 52-43, a 9-point lead with 27.4 seconds remaining. Inbound it comes to Hughes. Hughes is going to put up a 3 over Mitchell. It's off, no good. And a bunch of players just run into each other. Laughlin gets the rebound, and he's going to push it down the floor. We'll see who the foul's on. It's either on Hughes or Porter. It's going to be on Hughes. Be his third. 1 in bonus for Laughlin, Jensen Laughlin, who's had a great game for the Cyclones. A chance to shoot some free throws here with 20.2 seconds left. You're getting to the point, John, where this is pretty much, if you come back from 9 points down with this amount of time, it's a miracle kind of deal now.
Mm-hmm. So if the Havana Ducks are able to pull this one off, I believe you will be seeing this all over SportsCenter later tonight, more than likely.
Sisson's going to pull up. His jumper's off, no good. And we're going to call another foul. Count it. That doesn't help matters any of your Cyclones. Foul's going to be on Mitchell. That'll be his 4th. And Hughes gets the bucket. And a chance to complete the old-fashioned 3-point play. And he does. Sub checking in. It's 52-46, a 6-point game. 9.9 seconds left. That's just 2 possessions. Well, there's a little push.
That ball gets thrown away, but it should be staying with the West Prairie Cyclones.
It is 52-46, 6.3 seconds remaining. Into Barkley. Barkley's going to be fouled by Sisson, and Barkley will shoot the 1 in bonus. Sisson's first. Barkley's going to shoot the front end of the 1-and-1 here. He hasn't scored since the first half. First one is good. That pretty much ices it.
I would say so. With 4 seconds left in this game.
3-possession game, 7 points. And that's no good. Barkley stepped across the line. Whistle should have actually been blown sooner than it was, but
it's kind of what I thought, but
Hughes. A little over half-court shot's going to fall short. And that's how we'll end regulation, 53-46. Cyclones with a JV win. We'll be back with the JoJo's Gaming Parlor post-game show right after a short break. JoJo's Gaming Parlor offers the best gaming experience in the McDonough County area. Stop in for a cold drink and a chance to take home a nice wad of cash while you're at it. Also on game nights, check out TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. All the events live on the big screen. Come join your friends at JoJo's, located at 776 North Cole Street in Bushnell, and cheer our area teams on to victory. We'll be right back on TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. We look at the scoring here for the Fresh Soft contest right after this.
During this COVID pandemic, it is important you take care of your health, especially your heart health. Do not ignore the signs of a heart attack or stroke. If you have health concerns, schedule an appointment with your provider, and always, in case of an emergency, call 911. This message brought to you by McDonough District Hospital and Blessing Health System. See for yourself why Blessing Health System is the leader in cardiology and pulmonology services. Appointments available inside MDH. Learn more at blessinghealth.org or mdh.org.
Well, we were camping, and then I got a phone call from my neighbor and said that we got hit by a storm. He said, you better come home because there's no roof. He said, I look up and see the sky. He didn't know what you were going to do, where you're going to go, but Country Financial took care of us.
We anticipate something that we hope never happens, but when it happens, we are there to make good on our promise.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True convection cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True Convection Cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
Welcome back to West Prairie High School. The varsity teams are already on the floor. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. I'll give you the stats for the JV contest when we come back to start the varsity contest. Thanks for listening to us and watching us here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. Once again, we'll be back in just a few minutes with the varsity contest. It will be a separate stream, so come back and join us.